way I'll have it. So just shoot me a text if you would.
That one
Thank you so
started,
much.
and then this one, all you gotta do is just let us know when you push that button, because that'll be Facebook. Right now, YouTube is on.
What's her name?
YouTube.
Elon Omar?
Omar.
Elon Omar.
Omar.
Omar is the last name.
Omar is the last
Always
name.
wanted to switch it.
OMAR.
Yeah.
She's from Michigan, Democratic Party
Michigan.
from Michigan. Treasurer.
There was something else I wanted to talk about.
Okay,
Let's see.
How we look?
this looks good.
Okay, everything except Facebook. When she pushes the button, Facebook will be on.
Tell me when.
Well,
We
you know what?
are
We can
on-
do a little commercial. Want to do commercial for Facebook?
Yeah, but then I have to do it again. I'd have to
Okay.
wait to do it again.
All right. Well, let's wait a little bit then for Facebook. I could do it from my phone.
Yeah,
do it like a selfie
that
from
would
my
be
phone.
good. That'd be good if we did it that way. Because once I start, I'll have to redo everything on Facebook again. I gotta take the phone off,
Dude, yeah.
I know, huh?
because I have to do the wording.
Oh, the wording. Yeah.
Like put down on there. People, we are on YouTube, so this is the show getting ready to start, because we have 15 minutes to go, but we always like to start YouTube first so that our listeners and viewers will see sometimes what we do to prep the show 15 minutes before we do a little commercial, and that's what she's doing right now, is doing the commercial aspect of the show, which is a preview of the show, and it's done for 15 minutes, or is that okay?
No, I can't see the wording at all. Pull it
Yeah,
back.
I got this.
Back. Yeah,
Alright.
perfect.
Perfect.
Okay, Gayla, can I ask you to do our little Facebook go live here
Yes.
on my camera?
So we're doing our preview of Facebook, because we're not on Facebook, we're on YouTube right now, but on Facebook we do a preview, and it's exactly 15 minutes right now before we start our show.
So what do I do when I do the Facebook go live?
No, you're not gonna do the Facebook. We're doing it on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna do it with the phone.
What?
So
What am I gonna do?
you're gonna use my camera, and we're gonna do a little promo.
Oh, yeah,
for
you're
Facebook.
gonna
You
hold
do a
it.
promo.
So all you'll do is one
Okay.
voice, guys, one voice. So I'm gonna give you the phone,
Mhm.
and then you're just gonna shoot. You're gonna record us on Facebook Live, and we're gonna do like a couple of minutes doing
Okay.
a little commercial.
From here?
So I'm gonna give it to you.
Is this okay?
Yeah. So what you'll do is we're
Straight
gonna
up
go
and down or
live
sideways?
like this,
See, we got Lydia here today,
and then
and
when
we
you're
got
ready,
Sid de la
you just
Fuente
click
here
Start
today,
Live Studio.
and we
Oh,
have
okay.
Alice and myself, so we got a full crew here today. And
You don't want it sideways,
Let's
because
see
I
something.
gotta get way back if they're gonna do it straight up.
It'll
On
tell you
YouTube.
if you can get us all in that way. That's good.
Smile.
It's just if you get
We
too
see
far,
that-
you might not
Just
be able to
like,
pick up
wow,
the
sounds
voice.
like-
You can come. You know what you can do? You can come closer, and who's ever talking, you can put the camera on that person.
Okay.
You can do that.
Alright.
So whenever you're ready, you can click that go live.
Let me center it. Okay, let's go to that.
Are we ready? All right. Hey, guess what, guys? It's just about time for the Chips and Salsa Show. We got about 14 minutes. I'm Alice Slaughter. We're going to go live at 7 p.m. with the Chips and Salsa Show. And the other co-host is...
Don Jorge El Alacran. I'm back. I've been back for a while.
And
Sometimes I disappear.
the gang's back. We also have with us Lydia Macias.
Macias here, back after a 1 month absence.
Yes, she is a Navy veteran, and we're going to get her take also. We had something happen very recently. Our own Senator McSally revealed that she had been raped while she was in the Air Force. So we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit. And then also back in town with us back here,
How we doing?
Sid de la Fuente from Carlo,
How we doing?
Good.
How's it going out there?
Conservative American Latino Organization.
Glad to be back.
Right on.
I was happy to come back.
And he's going to tell us all about what's going on with Carlo and anything else that's been going on and exciting.
Excited, just getting through it, plugging through, and trying to recover from an accident and some other things.
Oh, okay.
So kind of a little setback, but still continuing on.
Still rocking strong. And for those of you who don't know, but Sid is actually from Cali. Used to be a Democrat. I think all of us, you weren't a Democrat. Were you a Democrat ever?
No,
No.
The only one who's never a Democrat.
I've been a Republican since I was eligible to vote.
Whoa,
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 okay.
But
Smartest
he's-
He's
one of the
original.
yeah. And Sid is from California. He was a Democrat. He is a Republican
Okay.
now, and started the organization, Conservative American Latino Organization. And also, he is a veteran. Is a Marine, former Marine, right? How do I say it?
A Marine still.
Marine
Yeah,
still,
once
always a
Marine,
Marine, right?
Oh, yeah. Once a Marine, always
Once
a Marine.
always a Marine. So we got two great veterans here with us. Anything else, George, before we?
New.
Oh, I do want to say, if you would, when you come back, we'll start about a minute or two early. We'll start the broadcast. And if you would share that on your Facebook page, maybe you are an admin on a page, maybe you're part of a group and you'd like people to know about us, because basically we're here to bust the myth. Just because you are a Latino doesn't mean you're automatically a Democrat. We're all Republicans here. We're all conservatives. So if you'd share that, if you haven't liked our page, please like it. We're like 2140. I think we need to go to 2,500, 3,000.
3,000.
Right,
3,000.
yeah.
You guys gotta go to 3,000.
Right on. So if you would do that, that would be so wonderful. Anything else before we sign off for the show?
Nope.
We'll be on shortly.
We will be on in about 11 minutes, actually more like 10 minutes. We like to go on a little bit early. And special kudos to my good friend Gayla Franks. She is behind the camera there helping us out tonight. Yay,
Hey,
Gayla!
thank you.
Yay. All right. See you later. Guac on. Finish video.
Ta-da.
Thank
Cool.
you.
You're gonna send that out?
Share. The video will be available soon.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
So we have, this week we have, actually last month, we have a new page on
I
this.
gotta bring up, I don't know if you talked about it last week, but the Jesse Smollett controversy.
Mhm.
Just touch base on that last week.
We did. Is there any more on
Just
it though? Any more? Second?
I haven't heard anything recently. The
He's
recent PC or the recent culture issue was R. Kelly exploding on television.
Oh, I saw that. Did you watch that? That was,
an interview. Here's
I don't know if
That
it
was
was really what he was thinking, or he just lost it, or if it was, like you said, staged. I
it
don't
was
know.
staged, you do it on purpose. It was so out of it. Crazy.
But I mean, well, that's true, but
But it could be, you know?
the guy's not in the right state of mind
Mhm.
with what's happening to him, so who
True.
knows?
Who knows? You're right. Okay, so let's see.
I don't think the interview worked for him, but
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Sally. Okay. I gotta talk about the Raptors rocking. Da, 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 da. My nephew coaches his son's team, okay? And their little cousin plays too. They're both my great nephews.
okay.
And they've been playing, and this is their second or third year. And you know, they're just little peewee guys. They're small. They're little. But they played yesterday, their baseball game, and they won 14-3.
Oh,
So
great.
I'm wearing the Raptor shirt. Los
Okay, cool.
Raptors. They call it Los Raptors.
Los Raptors?
Los Raptors.
Las Cruces, New Mexico. Where sports are big. Okay, now what is this that you gave me? Oh. Oh, you know what else I'd like to read? We could talk about the border.
Yeah. We can
And I was,
the statistics now the last month was
What was it, 70,000?
76,000 was the
76
first figure they gave out.
yeah, 76,000, the most in quite a, I think the most in any year.
What,
Did they
that
say
was in
any
one
year?
month.
Yeah, 1 month, in any year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they said 190 some odd thousand
Oh.
since October.
it's on your.
6 October.
yeah.
Yeah.
197,000.
So it's a manufactured crisis, huh?
It's gonna be over 1 million before
That-
the end of the year.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I got
I love-
something to
you
read
might
on
just,
that from
just
one of
along
our
with the-
faithful listeners.
yeah. the-
I'm sorry.
They were having
Along with
the meeting on the
those that are
26th.
already here.
I don't know what else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
what they
two-
know
yeah,
about.
two that they know about. There's a roughly about, I think they say about 2 million or more. So I have another million, you got
The dates on there?
And then
Six?
did you
Okay,
get
yeah.
that video I sent you about West Virginia?
Oh, I didn't get to watch it.
At West
And then
Virginia,
people that
they-
want to become
they
members,
moved-
they can become members.
they moved Americans,
at that
and it
meeting.
didn't matter what race we were, African
'Cause
American,
that's the-
Hispanic, white,
that's the week I was gonna
they
give
moved
you
them out of this
$25
whole suburb,
for the
right?
local chapter.
moved them down to another low income place or whatever the case might be. All these people leveled the housing there to build up apartment complexes
Oh my goodness.
for a wave of
Oh
Muslims,
my God.
refugees,
I had no
Re-
idea.
Refugee
Refugees, Muslims.
refugees.
Muslims?
and West Virginia, they're in debt already. They're in the hole with financially that state, but yet they're building that, and they're going to tear down. The gentleman was saying, he's a preacher, and he was saying that they're going to tear down a funeral home, and in place of that funeral home, they're going
Be
to
a
build a
good
mosque.
Oh my goodness.
So those whole street that there'll be Sharia law, just like
Well,
it
maybe
is.
that's what AOC is referring to when she says we gotta tear down the buildings and rebuild them.
That's maybe that's what. Oh yeah, that's probably
That's-
so.
Yep, there's, yeah.
Yeah. So
There's more to her than meets the eye.
Yes.
She's been behind the
She's been
scenes
around for a while.
in
you're
the
right.
gutter with the swamp
And what's the latest on
dwellers
her
for a
boyfriend and
while.
that money? Her boyfriend and funneling that
oh,
money.
there's no,
That's her
there's nothing.
boyfriend? I thought it was the campaign manager.
Well, that
It might
was.
be one and the same. I'm not sure.
I
I think they were
Is it-
saying that was her boyfriend.
Well, she gave
Yeah.
her boyfriend $6,000 out of her campaign money, and then her campaign manager created 2 501(c)s and then connected them to 2 LLCs and put himself in charge and then paid himself, what was it, $190,000 or something out of it?
yeah.
Convenient.
Those are all the officers and,
So I'm
Yeah.
sharing the promo, guys, if you want to share it to like
Oh,
others.
okay,
the
yeah.
charge,
And then
the
when you
officers
get the
and
show back
state
on, then we can share it.
Republican side.
Okay.
And that doesn't include Chairman Ward. Doesn't have her name.
Doesn't have her name.
Well, he didn't put her name up here. He just put all the officers. This was Trudy was voicing his opinion on something. So I copied it because I wanted the list of the members at large.
Not holding back any longer.
Yeah,
He's
And
never
he's-
held back.
and he's in our organization
I
too.
know. He was there at the meeting.
So,
Oh, did he go to the Hispanic Assembly?
She's a secretary.
Oh, that was
No,
Art.
Judy. Did you
Art,
see?
Yeah, he was
That's
there.
what I was asking.
Yeah,
I know she's
But-
she's the treasurer.
that's what I said.
Did you
She's the
get
secretary?
Treasurer.
Did you get my response to his?
No, lying
Did you get my response to his
to duties.
posting that he sent out?
No, did you
Not
just
holding
send
back?
that?
Yeah, I copied you on it.
I haven't checked my email.
No, he's
since
got
I
it.
actually agree with him.
I didn't read the whole thing. I get used to
It's
him.
it's the same thing I've been telling you. We're too scattered. We're too little groups doing our own little secret things, and we
That's
need
true.
to band together and be one big Republican Party, and under the leadership of Kelly Ward, and get some big
Wasn't
things
he going
done.
after Kelly Ward, the one that I saw?
No,
No.
well, he was going after the party itself.
See, I didn't read it all the way through.
Well, that's it right there. It's just, it is what it is. I think we just stop.
Okay, we got 56. Should we start it up?
Yes. Just
This
push-
one?
Oh,
Yeah, just push the
I didn't
blue.
get it.
Okay, we ready?
Did you show it? Because I didn't get it.
Okay, we're on.
All right.
All right.
Hey, it's time for the Chips and Salsa Show. Da, 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 da. I'm Alice Lara here with.
Don Jorge El Alacran.
We're here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Rockin' and guackin', getting our guac on here.
Walking and walking.
And we appreciate you chipsters watching us. Behind the scenes, helping us out tonight is our good friend Gayla Franks. Wonderful, staunch conservative, woman of the hour. Thank you very much.
Don't forget
for taking
gorgeous.
care of us.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous, single and
Gorgeous
available.
in the video.
But she won't let us put her on camera, but that's okay. And tonight we got like the whole band back. It's so exciting. We have Lydia Macias is back. Woo!
Hola, everyone.
Lydia, remember, she is a Navy veteran, and she's the only one during our promo that has always been a Republican. The rest of us used to be Democrats. But she's here. We're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. And then on my right, because I like my right,
Right.
is Sid de la Fuente.
Hello,
from
how are y'all
Palo.
doing? How we doing? How's it going?
Conservative American Latino Organization. All right, before we get started, George, first I have a few announcements. A big announcement I want to talk about is the reason I'm wearing Los Raptors shirt tonight is because you'll remember if you've been following our show, I have a nephew in Las Cruces, New Mexico. His name is David, and he coaches his son, Zachary, and Zachary's cousin, who's also my great nephew, Bo, and they play baseball. They're like, they're a little league, okay? And this is I think this is their third season. Well, they've struggled a little bit, but they played yesterday. 14-3. They rocked
14,
it.
They rocked.
Yeah, way to go, Los Raptors. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you very much. George, you have any birthdays? Anybody? Birthdays? Gayla, any birthdays that you
No.
I
know
don't
of?
think of any right now.
No.
Nobody? Oh, okay, all righty.
Oh.
Let's see. It
Well,
was
happy
Ash.
birthday to anybody that have a birthday.
Yeah, if you
I
had
had
a
a
birthday.
birthday, yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Yesterday was Ash Wednesday. Did you go get your ashes?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I got some for you. Did you go get some?
I got
ashes?
some. I got some. Yeah.
You
Late
know
at
what
night.
was cool? Did you see I posted on Facebook? Lydia's an honorary Catholic. Yes. It was Martha McCallum, and she had a guest on, and they both had
Their ashes.
Ashes
I
on.
saw that.
And I thought, you don't see that. It's very rare to see
No.
that. And of course, Laura Ingram, she is Catholic.
Mhm.
She had ashes on.
But see, I was used to in the old days, they just went like that.
They didn't do a cross?
They
They
didn't
do a cross.
They just went like this. And you always had like little.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
That's
Just
right.
a little bit.
Now they do this. They do the whole
They
cross.
do the entire
Yeah,
cross. and
they
you
do,
can-
like-
for
And
some
it's just
people,
like I don't know. It's religious and everything, but I don't know. I want to just. I was just used to the little thing.
Yeah.
Dash.
The little-
They just.
They used to do that back where I grew up in California. Yeah, the priest there, they're old Italian priests.
Yeah, he would go like this,
And they would
then
just-
he would say
yeah. A little prayer. They would just go like
prayer.
that and say a little prayer, and you're off.
Yeah, because you had
Yeah.
to do a bunch of it, and then you just go
Yeah.
like that.
Maybe that's why there were so many. Get out of here. Get out of
I
here.
don't know.
Production away.
That's how I noticed that yesterday. And they kept showing the same picture of the same lady, and they kept going like this big old cross on her
They said,
forehead.
make it a really big one because we want to show it on TV and make it last.
Yeah.
Make it last all day. So anyways, it's the start of Lent, and I should also give a shout out to my good friend, Pray to End Abortion, Nancy Brady. This starts the campaigns for 40 days. And if you want to get involved with that, you can go to their website. It's 40 Days for Life Phoenix. And they go and they do peaceful protests at the Planned Parenthood clinics and different things like that. They really do a nice job. And Nancy Brady, if you're out there, we'll have you on again soon.
And
just to give us
they've
an
actually
update.
helped some people, some women that
Mhm.
because they do it peacefully, but they've even convinced some women that you know what, maybe I should think about it, and they've been thanked
Persuaded.
because after the women have second thoughts, they thank the Lord that they were able to give birth, 'cause they gave birth instead of giving the abortion. So it is working. Her organization does, or the organization
They shut
does.
down the one in Tempe. Actually shut it down. And she was saying when she was
They
here,
shut down what?
they shut down the Planned Parenthood
Oh, okay.
in
Wow.
Tempe. They probably just moved it somewhere.
Okay.
But I mean, they're very effective.
Yeah,
And the whole concept is we know abortion is legal, but we can pray. We can pray about it.
and they do it peacefully, and they pray, and it does affect some people. And the lady, the mom, has second thoughts, and it has helped.
And I encourage you to take part in that if you can. It's really a fantastic experience.
The
Yes, ma'am.
movie, mention the movie.
I was just going to do that.
Oh.
The movie is Unplanned, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
And when Nancy was here, she was telling us that they're going to have a free showing. And I don't remember the date, so I've got to get that information. I hope we didn't miss it. I don't think it's coming out in May, right?
Yeah, we haven't missed it
We
yet.
haven't missed it yet. So we're going to watch for that, and maybe we can get a group to go check that out. Oh, so speaking of movies, so make sure you check that out. Speaking of movies, you know what else has come out? A movie about Apollo 11. And that was the first moon landing. It's going to be 50 years. Can you believe that? It was, I was there. You were there. You were there. You guys weren't, huh? Were you?
No.
Oh, you weren't. You were in the future.
Apollo what?
You were in the future. But
But-
this thing is like a really cool documentary. I've heard a lot of really good reviews on it. So, you know, whether you were there or not, I think it'd be
Is that the
worth
one where they don't
watching.
put the flag on the moon?
No, that was the movie with
Uh-huh.
Ryan Gosling.
So
That was a
this-
movie
uh,
about Neil
this-
Armstrong.
This has
This
actual
is actual
audio
footage.
and
Oh,
footage and
okay.
everything.
What's it
More
called?
documentary.
It's, I don't know what the title is, but I think it's just called Apollo 11.
Apollo.
Yeah, the
Mm,
50-year
Is it on
okay.
TV or? the movie?
It's a movie. It's
Oh, wow.
it's coming out. It's a documentary. And it
Go
might be
see it.
something that you want to go to, what do you call it, the IMAX theaters to go
Yeah.
experience the
Mhm.
whole thing. So I'm really excited about that. All right, so let's see, any
Can I-
other,
Can I get
You
back
go
to that abortion?
Yes, go ahead.
It brought up something, that's why.
please do.
I don't know if you heard about that. An Alabama man, a young man, he is suing his ex-girlfriend because she went to have an abortion, and he had no right, he had no say. And I'll just read a little quick here. In an unprecedented move, a probate court in Madison County, Alabama, has recognized a woman aborted fetus, dubbed Baby Roe, as a person with rights, allowing a man to proceed with his lawsuit against a woman's health clinic where his ex-girlfriend obtained abortion care 2 years ago.
So he's suing his girlfriend or the clinic?
The clinic.
He's suing the clinic.
Now, but that
Wow.
court, here is what is real interesting now. That court recognized they say Baby Roe
Mhm.
because now they're recognizing the baby as a person.
Right, as a
Personhood.
person.
Uh-huh.
Before,
To
before
have
it was
right.
a fetus that had
For
no
the
rights.
fetus that had no rights.
Exactly.
Now it's recognized as having rights.
We're gonna
A
have
baby
to follow
having-
that. That just
Yes,
happened.
that just happened.
That's
That
what
just-
the Democrats are worried about, that this will get to the Supreme Court
Mm-hmm.
and that will affect Roe v. Wade.
And that will affect Roe v.
So-
Wade because now, when Roe v. Wade was established, Supreme Court, it was on a fetus, just like you said, a fetus. Now this court says, no, wait a minute,
We recognize
With
this
that-
entity as
as
a person
as a
with
person.
rights.
How far along was she when she had the abortion?
I didn't read all to it, to be honest
Well,
with
we're gonna have to follow that
Yeah.
because that's huge and that's
you.
Alabama.
That's well, it's Alabama, but you kind of, what is it?
You'll see more of them.
You'll see more. What is it? Virginia, where they had that the abortion when they do it later now
After the baby's
Yeah.
born.
was born.
It's a botched abortion.
A watch abortion, or that's that's a child.
Well, and here recently in Arizona, remember, they tried to get that bill and the
Yeah.
Democrats said, oh, hold the bill, hold
Hold
it,
it,
hold
hold
the
it.
bill.
Yeah.
And of course,
And they were fighting it from being read.
Yeah.
So they,
right, and we talked all about that, last week or the week before, and thank goodness, Alan, who was the head of the committee, he said, no, we're gonna hear about it. So, keep the fight.
Keep the
Thanks
fight
for
going.
mentioning that. That's
Keep the
great.
prayers.
Let's see, any more announcements before we continue? You know what I found out? You know who Bridget Gabriel is? Gabrielle? I don't know, maybe.
Bridget.
Okay, well, she's gonna be in town March 20th. You'll know who she is. We'll have more information on that, because I gotta call the gentleman. It's a free deal. She's in town on the 20th, and then I think she's in Tucson the very next day. She, I believe, grew up in Israel and knows a lot about the Muslim faith and ISIS and all that good stuff. She's fantastic. So I'll have more information on that. I want to remind you that next week, Central Republican Women of Phoenix, we are going to have our meeting, and that's on Wednesday.
Mhm.
You're going to be there, maybe?
I think I'll be there.
And thank you. And that's going to be on Wednesday at 6:15. We start our meeting. We're going to have AZFRW, Arizona Federation of Republican Women, Lorraine Pellegrino, and she's going to talk about women and being involved in Republican women's clubs. So if you'd like to, go to the Central Republican Women of Phoenix Facebook site and make your reservation. Try to make it today or tomorrow if you can. That'd be great, so we can get a good number. George is a member. Maybe you'll go
Mhm.
and join us too. That's good. Thank you, Gayla. She brought me information on Unplanned. In theaters everywhere, March 29th. That's coming up pretty soon. So they're probably going to have that free movie the week before or something. So we'll get in touch with Nancy, so we'll make sure to give you that
Yeah,
information.
Anybody can probably just go to unplanned, what is it, the film.com?
Yeah, you can probably Google Unplanned
Mhm.
and find it and do that. Okay, thank you very much. And there was something else. Oh, RLD next week. That's Tuesday on the
Tuesday.
12th. We have a special guest speaker, Legislative District 27. We're going to have Sid de la Fuente come speak to us.
Be there speaking. Matter of fact, I got a call from the chairman, their
Good,
chairman today to confirm that. So, and
good.
we talked about what we're going to talk about. Also, Turning Point, the gentleman from Turning Point is going to be there
Yes.
for the Young Republicans. Talking about
Is
the
it,
Is it Tyler Bond?
is it, I don't think Tyler. I think
No.
it's going to be Garrett
Garrett.
Archer.
I think
No,
that
Do I have that name?
I
right?
can't remember. I think
I
it just
can't
said
remember
Garrett.
now, but she told me.
So
But
I was
good.
kind of driving and listening at the same time.
I should have written it down. See, if I don't write it down, I'm all messed up.
But it's going to be a great meeting. It's going to be
Yeah.
a great meeting with Turning Point there. And the others. Yeah, it's going to be good.
I said the wrong name because there's somebody else she's working on, so I'm not going to even go there because I don't want to promise in case he can't make it. But this is a cool thing. El Pollo Loco has pledged to donate 20% of their proceeds on meals between 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. This doesn't happen until March 30th, so we got a little while for this. But this is for our good friends, College Republicans United, and that's the Pollo Loco over on 5130 South McClintock in Tempe. You can RSVP at grouppraise.com/events/90509. When you purchase your meal, you mention College Republicans United, and you follow the restaurant's instructions to donate 20% of your meal's price back to the College Republicans United. Maybe we can
Great,
have them on
great.
before then.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking. We could have them on the show, and then they could announce that
That's great.
because that's the end of the month. So we'll mention that again.
That's good.
The fundraiser.
Those are
That's
our,
great.
our good friends. Also, I want to say, you know what? Remember Prather? We used to have the Prather Point. So Jeff Prather has a show now, and it's out of Tucson, and it's on Sundays at 4 p.m. And you can go to kvoi.com and you can listen to the podcast. And I just want to mention him. It's really a good show. He is a Fast and Furious whistleblower. He's always kind of ahead of the curve, and it has a really good take politically on things. So I encourage you to go and listen to him. Next time he's in town, hopefully we can get him back here.
And the Polak, he's doing.
Thomas Pollock?
Yeah.
He's doing something special? He's doing a
Well, no, we always mention him.
Sure. But I was thinking, I think he's also got a GoFundMe kind of thing or a fundraiser going on.
Wow.
And that's Mission Restore Bronze.
That's just,
And make sure you go check that out. Our good friend Tom Pollock, Pawlak. Do I have the spelling right?
Mhm.
And go check him out because he's the one. Remember, he restores the headstones. And
Oh,
I mean, I
saw
know you're
that.
interested in that.
Yeah.
You see, he went to
I
the
saw
video.
how he did that. He had some photos and how it was before and then after. It was like, oh, it came out beautiful. It came out nice.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's amazing. It
He
does.
went with us, and my good friend Dale Kimball, he passed away about 30 years ago. And so his headstone was really faded. So we all went out there, and Mark sanded it down a little bit. It's really interesting. It's not that hard to do. It didn't take us very long.
Mhm.
And then he's developed a special polished wax, really, that you apply the coat, and then that's good for a long, long time. Plus, it protects it from all the other elements. And we're out here in the
Oh,
sun and the
And the
dust
dust.
and everything. If you can't do that, if you want, you can buy the wax. You can send him a donation because his mission is to do every headstone in the whole United States. He's got different people throughout the states that are doing it.
And he came out with a polish for tires too, that for the white walls, and it
And the lowriders use it.
and the lowriders use it. They really like it, and it's one of the products that he developed from these products that he uses to polish the veterans' markers. I wanted to mention, and I'll probably mention it again next week, the Republican National Hispanic Assembly of Arizona. We have an Arizona chapter now, and I'll let
Great.
our treasurer,
This is our
the
treasurer.
treasurer of the organization, she'll talk about it.
Yes, we have
Sound
our
effects.
Republican National Hispanic Assembly organization, the National Assembly, was actually the Turning Point Conference last weekend for the Latino Summit. Latino Summit. So that was a great conference. But we're setting up a chapter, like George said. And our next meeting will be March 26th. So about 3 weeks from now.
Yep, 26.
Time flies,
26.
so please put that on your calendar, and it's going to be over at the Arizona GOP office over on North 24th Street. And we're going to have Terry calls them lazy enchiladas, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it's gonna be a happy hour at 5:30, 6:30. So hopefully they'll be there, you'll be there, and then the meeting will actually start at 6:30.
And you don't have to be Latino.
You don't have to be Latino to go.
Yeah, anybody
Even
can-
Gayla
If
can
you're a Republican, you're absolutely
Even
welcome to
gringos?
attend.
Even Gringo. Gayla the Gringo can go.
And,
Gringo.
what it is, it's all
That's your new
inclusive,
radio name.
and it's a great organization. We have great people that are part of it right now. Diane Ortiz Parsons, she's second VP, I think. She's a assistant VP.
Yeah, VP.
And then we have
Nick Pearson is secretary.
Secretary.
yeah, Nick Pearson is our secretary, and our chairman is.
It's Terry Mendoza.
Terry
Terry
Mendoza.
Mendoza. So it's a great start, and a lot of people are involved. We have over 22 people already
Right.
members of it, and so all of us will be there on the 26th. Because Sid, I
27th.
expect to see you
You're gonna
there.
be there too.
You were
I'll
there
be
last
there.
time.
I was
He
there
was
first
there.
time.
Yeah,
He was there
Okay.
at the first meeting.
Yeah.
The only one that wasn't there was
I had my
I
women's
gear
club.
out.
Yeah,
There was a
the women's
scheduled
So we
conflict.
split it up. She did the
I
Senate
attended.
and I did the women's club.
so she'll be there,
I'll, of
and
course,
so will a lot of other people. So it's going to be a great meeting on the 26th, and you'll be able to see the new renovated GOP office. It should be done by then, or pretty close to being done. We were there last week, and it
We
was.
went there Saturday.
Yeah,
It's
Saturday.
coming along. Gayla, I don't know when the last time you went, but the kitchen, they've redone the kitchen. They put in some new flooring. It's
The
a whole
bathroom.
refresh. It needed it. It
And
needed it.
they have these widescreen
Yeah.
TVs in the conference room where they'll have news organizations playing, or you could even have a meeting there if you schedule your meeting, and you could have one of the TVs for a presentation of your own. So this whole thing,
We're getting organized, huh, George?
the whole Republican office there has modernized 100%. And I've been involved over 10 years, and this is the first time I've seen it to this extent. So I hand our new chairman, Dr. Kelly Ward, a lot of credit for that, and the great group of people that she has aligned with her now. She has a new director, a new
Special shout out to Executive Director Leslie White.
Right.
yeah,
Yes.
Leslie White. They just got a communications director. I don't know his name, but they just elect.
So we can't communicate
Nominated.
that to you, but we'll get
But the whole group of people, the committees that she's formed, I mean, they're out. They're all accomplishing
Yeah.
stuff. So it's like you're going to hear a lot of good things coming from the Republican Party. the
We
state
invite
Republican
you
Party.
to, go down there. If you're in the area, drop by and check it out. If you can
Volunteer.
get more excited
Okay.
about the Republican Party and you live in
Mm-hmm.
Arizona, if you have a few bucks to throw our way, it's really for all of us, the Republican Party. Please do so.
Mm-hmm.
Volunteer, like George said. Maybe there's something that you're really
Yeah,
excited
okay.
about. You know what? It's going to take all of us because, 2020
Right.
is just around the
It's
corner.
not far away at all.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's get started with some topics, shall we, guys?
Yeah.
You wanted to give us a Turning Point USA update. I missed that conference, Latino
That's
Summit.
it.
You were there?
No,
Did you
I had to work.
You didn't go?
I
And
had to
you,
work.
we didn't go. So you're the only one that went of the four of us. So let us know what happened. Art Del Cueto was there. A lot of people were there.
Okay.
It was a good turnout, about 300 young Latinos, college age, high school age attended. So we
Wow.
had people from Texas, California, of course Arizona, so it was across the country. I attended Friday evening and they had the registration and they had the guest speakers, and Steve Cortez was there from CNN, gave that,
Right.
CNN was there.
well,
Wow.
he's only the conservative
Only because
Representing.
representative from the conservative
Wow.
side that actually is brought on CNN on a regular basis.
Oh, see, I don't watch CNN. So
I don't watch
who's
CNN
that?
yeah.
frequently. I'll occasionally, turn on the channel and watch it for about
That's
2
good to
minutes.
That's
know.
great.
But he's there and he is speaking on behalf of conservative Republicans, Latinos, of course, but Republicans in general. So he's a great voice to have on CNN. And the reason he says he's on there is because they have no one else. And you can remember Jeffrey Lord, who was the other conservative, was let go from CNN a while ago because of a tweet he had sent out. I don't remember the context of the tweet, but he was let go from CNN. But he's still on the network, Steve Cortez, so he's a great advocate, and he was a great speaker for the conference. But he's saying, he gives his family background about his parents coming from Colombia, or his father, and he did it legally. Telling about his story, he attended Georgetown University, so got his BA there, and then worked his way up in the in corporate media, and landed a job at CNN, and then as Trump's communications director, I believe. I can't remember the exact position, but he worked for the Trump administration briefly. But he was a great speaker. So
Are they going to do another one, Liddy?
Mhm.
Do you know?
I don't know if they're going to do another conference, but I think they probably should, because they had such a great turnout. It was the largest turnout in the 4 years they'd done before.
That's true.
So this is the 5th year they have done the conference.
And somebody has
So-
they sent me on the Facebook on Facebook, they sent me some pictures of that and all that. Matter of fact, I think it was you that sent me some
Mhm.
and or posted. You posted them and they said I got them. And yeah, there was a large turnout. A lot of young. It was nice to see a lot of young Hispanics, Latinos out there. Conservatively out there talking, out there. Just it was nice.
I heard Anna Polina. She was on the James T. Harris show, and there's a lot of video that's still out there. So probably if you just go to the Turning Point USA website, there'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
a lot of video.
There's plenty
So
of.
who impressed you the most, speaker-wise, that was up there that you thought,
They're
wow?
all good. Drew Hernandez was impressive. He was one of the speakers on, I wouldn't say, I think it was Friday evening as well. So he was there. He's a conservative, because they were Anna Polina was saying that she was putting together the itinerary. So she was calling through the country to get Hispanic conservative activists, and she came across his information. So he was one of the few that she reached out to, and he was a great speaker as well, and talking about how he's a conservative Latino, his life story, and
Where is he from? Drew Hernandez, do you remember?
He, I believe, was from Los Angeles, I believe.
Was the Hispanic conservative there?
He-
Wasn't he? I saw.
Yes, he was there.
And
He
what
was
is his
there
name?
because
Dave, is that David Basuto?
David Basuto was
Or is
the one
that somebody
it's the one that founded Lexit.
Lexi,
Okay.
yeah,
So he was there,
okay.
and as well as Jesse Holkeen was there, and of course Art De La Cuenta was there.
Yeah.
I heard him speak, and I also heard Kimberly Guilfoyle. So she was there
Who
as well
people
on
don't know
Saturday.
that she's half Latina.
She's Hispanic.
Mhm.
On her mom's side, she's Puerto Rican. Her father's Irish. She's from San Francisco. Attended UC. I think it was University of California in Los Angeles. That wasn't Berkeley.
I
But
was gonna say I'd be surprised if it was Bert.
wasn't Berkeley, but I think it was Los Angeles, UCLA. And of course, people recognize her. She was on the 5 on Fox News for a while. But she is a great speaker. I mean,
I'm so glad you went.
She was speaking about the accomplishments the Trump administration has done for the Latino community. The lowest unemployment in 50 years. The pushing for strong.
She was giving you all the fake
Yeah,
news, right?
well, she was giving all the facts, all
Yeah.
the statistics. Highest entrepreneurship rate among Latinos, among Latino women, lowest unemployment rate. I mean, just everything. And she says that the Trump administration is seeking to do more, and that we should support the president in 2020. So I was impressed by it.
Oh, that's true.
That's great.
And also, I don't know if anybody watches WWE, but they had Tito Ortiz.
Tito
He's,
Ortiz.
Tito Ortiz.
Tito Ortiz
Yes.
is a MMA fighter.
MMA fighter.
MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tito
But
Ortiz.
he-
Which MMA stands for?
Martial arts.
Martial.
Like a martial arts thing?
Yeah, it's a combination of martial arts, boxing, taekwondo.
Oh,
Taekwondo. So
But
yeah, all
he-
put together.
He has a great life story as well. I mean, he came from a home where both of his parents were heroin addicts.
wow.
Wow.
He was on the path of self-destruction, joining the gangs, and joined a gang and decided that this wasn't for him anymore. So his mother moved him out of the area that he lived in, and they started a new life. And he attended UC Bakersfield briefly, and took up wrestling because he was so good at it, and it changed his life. And turned it around and started training in college wrestling, and then professional wrestling.
Now, most of these people that were there and up giving their stories, were they Democrats before and then saw the light? Or is there anything really unusual or interesting about how they became conservative or Republican?
I didn't hear too many stories like that, but I heard a story about a dreamer. His mother brought him here. She was here illegally, but he came from Mexico at the age of 3, and she worked here illegally. But she eventually got him U.S. citizenship, and he as well got his U.S. citizenship under the DACA program. But he pretty much saying, I had no choice. I was a child. He was brought here. So you had that. You do have that sympathy for them, and he pretty much worked his way through. Gained good grades in high school and attended UT Houston, University of Texas at Houston. Got picked up in an internship and works for a Fortune 500 company. I mean, he's the American dream.
That's the American dream.
So
That's the American
that
dream right
is
there.
something that was impressive as well. I didn't hear how politically active he was prior to, but he is a outspoken, calls himself a fearless conservative Latino. So I'm thinking he's a Republican, from the get-go.
Probably so.
So-
Because doing his homework as far as what the Republican Party stands for and what they support, seeking the American dream and wanting people to assimilate and be Americans, I think he's a conservative through and through. And that's a great
That's
story to talk about.
What I like when I was watching the pictures and some of the video and hearing people talk about it like you, there's a really good energy and excitement about it. There's people on Facebook and you know who you are that are on my Facebook page and you guys really aren't, there's not that many and blah blah blah. Yeah, there are. There are a lot of Latinos who aren't active and out, if you will, like we are.
Yeah.
They're at home and they're voting Republican and they're watching news and staying informed. But that's, of course, one of the reasons that we exist, to bust that myth. So thank you for that report, Lydia. Keep us posted on different things. You and I want to go tour that place.
Right,
We gotta tour it.
Tyler Boyer, who helped start the organization, he used to be chairman of the Maricopa County Republican Party, and now he's spearheading that. And he invited us over there. He wanted us to the Chips and Salsa and Alice and myself and Lydia and Sid. He's invited us all to go attend one of these meetings and to tour the facility. And we're going to take him up on that.
We
and
are.
We're going to be more involved with Turning Point and try to, whenever they have another event coming out, we're going to let you know. And we're going to be very engaged because it's something good for the Republican Party, something good for Hispanics, something good for Republicans in general, because that was the Hispanic Turning Point, the Hispanic
It was the Latino Summit.
the Latino Summit. But Turning Point is involved in a lot of different, not just Latinos.
They're the ones that have like the buttons and the posters, like big government sucks and all that.
Yeah.
So
Those are their
Yeah.
slogans.
So we're gonna get more engaged in that and bring you more updates on that.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted. Kind of a little bit along the same lines. One of our followers sent me a little paragraph that I want to read to you. And I'm not going to use names or anything, to protect the innocent or the guilty conscience. But I thought it was really interesting. My daddy works for a grocery store in El Paso. I shouldn't say she or he. They say my
Non-gender.
daddy works, transgender. No, geez.
Non-gender.
My daddy works for a grocery store in El Paso. And even though he is for the law, he states that some of those people are kids, and he feels morally obligated to help them out. So in case you didn't know, El Paso is a border city in Texas. I lived in El Paso for 4 years with my husband. I'm from Las Cruces, New Mexico, so I'm familiar with the area. It's right there on the border, and they do have a wall, by the way. And he feels morally obligated to help them out. So the grocery store had an abundance of milk and wanted to donate them to the churches where Honduran migrants were being held. They appreciated the offer, but did not have the adequate storage space to hold all that milk. My dad said the pastors told him that those migrants were being held there for a few days until their sponsors could get them to other states like New York. Them coming up there in those caravans was part of a bigger plan. I wonder who their sponsors are, if they're relatives or maybe people who are part of human trafficking. So I read that to you. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you who sent this to me, but you know, there is so much going on there. One of the big headlines too that just happened. Remind me the name of the gal, but she was saying that these 10-year-olds, okay, they're 10-year-old girls, they have to give them all pregnancy tests
Mhm.
because when they are crossing
I heard
over,
about that.
they might get raped and they don't know if they're pregnant. I mean, if you're a big open borders person, and I've had these conversations with so many people, I know you want to have a big heart, but is that really to have a big heart when girls like this, these children, if you're 10 years
Children.
old and exposing them to a danger like this?
You just can't even call them teenage girls at that. They're children. They're little girls. They haven't hit puberty yet.
Yeah, some of them, I understand that some, you know, you can start your menstrual cycle early, that early. But you know that they're getting molested or there's a chance to get raped or molested or anything like that. I mean, it's so horrible. It's so horrible. So, I mean, really, when they try to tell us there isn't a crisis,
There is a
It
crisis.
is a crisis.
And that's a great point in that story that you read. That who are these sponsors? What is categorized as a sponsor? Is it a family member? Is it someone that is telling them that they have a job here? How are these people? Who are they? How are they vetted? How are you to know? How are you to verify if it's a family member? If they're here illegally, they would be afraid. I would think to be identified. So who are these individuals that are categorized as sponsors? That
Can I get with on that? That's something that our Jose Caldo has teamed up with. He's a member also, and I teamed up with JJ Legal Resources, Juan Jimenez. Okay, and Juan, what I teamed up with him because I found out being having just the word Latino in your organization and going out to talk to people. I talk to, I guess you could say, I'm the one that an organization that talks to the older generation, the older generations of Hispanics, Latinos, the
you
older
mean over
ones,
40?
over 40, my age, 50 older, that do have a concern and they do want to become citizens. They don't have no idea. They don't have no idea how to do. So I teamed up with Juan Jimenez and Legal Resource, JJ Resource, Legal Resources, for the simple fact that when they come and you ask about vetting, you know, they don't come vetting. They don't come. They don't know. They don't understand. They don't see. And some may say, "Sid, you're getting liberal again." Okay, you're getting liberal. It's not liberalism. They're here. They're brought here. The liberals are bringing them here or letting them come here for actually just a vote. And at the same time, let's be honest. And I'm not going to be beating around the bush. Okay, let's be honest. They bring them here for the cheap labor. It's plain and simple. It's cheap labor. Okay, so they bring them here, and there's some of them that do want to become, and just like that dreamer that was at Turning Point had a dream. Through DACA, he became a citizen. His mother became a citizen. So I teamed up with him so that those who have asked me and those who have told me about their citizenship, how do I become a legal? I didn't even know myself. Like I was telling Juan, I didn't even know myself that a legal could still have a chance to become a citizen or be a citizen. Okay, or some that are in the process of becoming a citizen. Okay, but yet there were so many that were taking their money and leaving them high and dry.
So you're talking about the attorneys that are like they prey on the illegal residents.
on the legal residents.
And they're saying, "Oh, I'm going to get you citizenship," but meanwhile they're spending a bunch of money and they may not get their
And they
citizenship.
may not get their
Oh,
citizenship.
it's
So this is a
what's
legit
happening.
guy.
Yes.
So we need to get
So
him, bring him on the show.
I teamed up with him. He's a member of Galo. And we're going after those that are, because let's be honest, they also, the liberals brought them in, brought a lot of illegals in and letting them in for the vote. Okay. But as we all know, Hispanics, Latinos, they have more in common with the Republican conservative than they do with the liberals, but they don't know it. So how can we, you have a lot of those that grow up just like I did, grow up Democratic as a Democrat and grow up thinking that's the way it is. That's the way it is. We don't know the other side to it. We don't know the other Republican. So here's a chance, because this is what liberals are doing. They're doing the same thing, bringing them in, getting the cheap labor, whatever the case may be, but also being there telling, look, I gave you this, give me back this in return. Okay, so in turn, it's like we can't vet them. Here's a process where we can vet them to help them with they become legals. They got their paperwork going. We show them we show them and guide them in the direction that they need to be guided to be legal. And yet we have an R at our name behind us. There's an R behind our name. It's not what they expect it to be. They expect, when you tell them, I've talked to a lot of Hispanics out there in the construction sites, out there doing, out cleaning rooms, everything. And the first thing you tell them, the first question I ask them, I said, what do you think of a Republican? And here comes out in Spanish words, a lot of Spanish.
Bad words?
Yeah, every Spanish word you can think of. Racist, just what the media tells them. Racist, don't care about people. They only care about themselves, only the rich. They hate Latinos, they hate immigration, well, okay, because that's what they've been shown. When I've gone out to and talked to them, and some of the people that come in that we're helping, they're like, they can't understand that I'm a Republican. The one they understand, you're Hispanic, you're Latino. How can you even think about being Republican? How can you even think about being Republican? That's the worst thing you can do as a Hispanic. That's the worst thing you can do. Be a Republican.
It is so important that you're out there in front of them, though.
Yeah.
Because you need to see, and that's why we do the show too, because you need to see someone of color who's brown and can show them, and you are Republican, and you know.
And you know what Republicans,
is.
what it is, and what it stands. A lot of them don't know, especially the older generation, the mothers and the fathers. A lot of the mothers and the fathers of those, because in a Latino family, you touch the mother and the father, you'll touch the whole family.
That's true.
And you'll get the whole family.
So the
because
culture is
still a strong foundation. You touch the mother or father, you touch even the aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
Okay. And you got a strong family value there. You got a strong Republican value. And that's what we're shooting at. That's why I teamed up with one. That's why we're teaming up together. And that's where we went out and saying, talk to people, even though we know probably they come up illegal, we're saying, here's our card.
So I have so many questions, and we don't have time to do this now. So you're going to have to bring him back to ask.
We will.
I have to imagine that a lot of the people that you talk to are in the process right now of trying
to
get their citizenship or to become legal and stay legal.
Now,
it's still the case, right? That like 40% of the passports they're overstayed visas.
They're overstayed visas.
So they came here. Wow. Yeah, they came here legally. They started the process, but then they didn't renew.
They didn't, or else either they were in the process. They got ripped off. They no longer the person or the company they started with their paperwork or whatever the case may be. They just took the money and run. And then there's also the other category is that when they come in and we have a process where they can look at the paperwork, look how it's going, and honestly he would be able to say, they could say, you got no chance. There's no chance that you can be a citizen. There's no chance you can do it. I ain't even going to touch you because I'm going to tell you straight that I can't do this paperwork and it can't be done.
Because why would that happen?
Probably that was something that I didn't get into too much, but the only thing that I can figure is because maybe they do have a criminal background, or they had a criminal background, or they did, like anything, even the smallest DUI, that they got caught DUI, and if they got caught DUI, well, they're still that probably red flag. Whoop,
how often do you have your meetings?
We're starting going to have the beginning of the next month to I'm getting a place to get that to have totally just
in time for tax season.
Just in time for tax season, to have it to ourselves, and not just to have it to ourselves. I'll have it in a place where I can have not only a place that we can have meetings, but a place where I can bring guests, and we could have like a stage or
Workshops.
something, or workshops or something of that nature that they can go to, and we can even have a stage or something where we can have the bailes, so we can have the
Yeah,
bailes,
have a little reception.
yeah, have a little
some
something,
mariachis.
yeah, the mariachi, something of
things
that
like
nature, yeah.
Well, you just made me
Mhm.
think of something, and I don't know, it just is registered right now. So you can imagine that someone's here legally, and they've got their passport and everything, but it's approaching time to get it renewed or
Renewed.
whatever you do. I don't know enough about that process. So there's a shyster attorney. I'm going to put his card down. A shyster attorney comes, oh yeah, I'll take care of it all for you. They screw it up. The person's out of business, right? The person is in trouble. But who are they going to go to? They don't want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, what a mess. There's so many things we need to ask this guy about.
And
Wow.
there's like we were talking. And matter of fact, I did an interview. We did an interview at over in Culver's. We met at Culver's. We had a little dinner. We talked over there. I said, hey, let's
Great
do a little.
hamburgers and ice cream.
They do. So I said, hey, I got my iPad here. Let me interview you. So if you go to Spreaker.com, you can hear that interview.
Great blog, Spreaker.com, Spreaker.
.com, and you can hear that interview that we had. Kind of the background. I try to get the background. I couldn't edit it too good, but you can hear and understand.
Cool.
And he talks about a lot about what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, because we got 22 million? Is that the number? That's what they say, but do we really know?
Do we really know? We don't really know.
We have no way of actually tracking that because, speaking of, the conference, Art Del Cuento was one of the speakers, and he said, there's a path. There's actually a path for migrants to come through. And all they have to do is literally follow footprints. So they come in groups. So people can say,
SPR,
so
like speaker,
even
but
if
it
you
just
try-
has R.
We have a show going on, guys.
even if you try to track a group, I mean, you can't get an accurate count. It can be 6 or it can be 60 people because they're actually following each other's footsteps.
Well, you know what I've heard
So
today.
there's no way to calculate the exact
Yeah.
number of people that come in illegally.
Even
If you're there at the border counting, trying to count heads.
with that though, do you know I heard today too is that the drug cartel are using, and even they're using drones now, and we can't shoot them down because we got to get a warrant or whatever the case may be. But they're using drones to map out the area,
Where the least number of border patrol agents
and to go and the least amount of resistance and that they can go freely, and they can take their drugs or they can people carry their drugs across and or even smuggle the people without drugs, just smuggle the people in, but they're using drones to find
Why
out
can't
map
they
their
shoot them
location.
down?
Because there is a federal law that says you have to have a court order or a warrant or something just to shoot them down. Yeah.
But I mean, we can shoot down drones when we're in Afghanistan and Iraq. I mean, Mexico's a foreign country. That's
yeah,
completely done.
I would.
Like, how do you identify maybe they're in illegal airspace or? Isn't that
That's true.
fascinating?
It would depend on where in the border. Because
They don't have a little Mexican flag.
Well, you have 4 border states. You have Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. So it would depend on what state.
I guess what
the
state,
drones are at,
maybe.
because the state
I really don't know.
legislature-
All they said is, I remember hearing that they would have to get like a court order in order to shoot. By the time they get the court order
They're
and get
gone.
back, the drone's already gone, and
They're
it's they got the information they wanted and they mapped it out and said, okay, see ya.
Wow,
Yeah.
but there's no crisis.
There's no crisis.
no problem
No
at
crisis.
the border. The border disorder,
Yeah.
not at all.
Border disorder.
The other disorder I want to talk about is you have a new girlfriend, did you know? You
No.
have a new girlfriend. First it was just Nancy
I got
Pelosi,
so many.
Maxine Waters, Peach 45. But now it is Representative Ilan Omar. That's your new girlfriend.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
No. I draw the line.
Draw the line here.
Too many.
I draw the line. No.
So, as you know, George's not new girlfriend, Ilan Omar, am I saying that right, Lydia?
Mhm.
Okay, she is Democrat from Michigan, and she keeps saying some anti-Semitic stuff. So, as I understand, and correct me if I have any of this wrong, but today the Democrats tried to pass a resolution, but they didn't come out. It was really about her. but they wanted to broadly say, hey, you know what, we shouldn't say anything negative about, we shouldn't be anti-Semitic. So our own Congressman Biggs from Arizona, he was on the James Sierra show for a little bit. Did you hear it, Ayla? Okay. And he said, I didn't vote for this. He says, because, this is what, the third time he said that she's done this?
Yeah.
And she's getting away with it.
She's getting away with
this
it.
is outrageous to be able to do. If she were a Republican,
Should have been asked to resign.
And-
Or should have been censured.
They'd
Censured.
be demanding that she resign.
She
it
resigned.
would be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's whatever. Also, that they were supposed to have this bill, whatever they were resolution. They were supposed to have it like 2 days ago, but that Nancy didn't want to. Pelosi didn't want to bring it up, or she didn't want to have because of certain. She came up with excuses. Let's just put it that way.
Cortez, what's her name?
AOC?
The one from New York.
It's, you know what? This is a name that I heard in a commercial. Alexandria Occasional Cortex.
That lady.
That lady.
She threatened her.
Yeah,
Is
yeah, that's what I heard.
We were
She threatened-
talking before the show about how they're going after Nancy.
because she knows Nancy is very Pelosi. She's her speakership. She barely got that position. She barely won that position.
Well, you have to remember that AOC is the one that actually led the charge as far as this little cabal,
Yeah,
the freshman congressman that got elected, to vote against Speaker Pelosi to become Speaker
to become
because they didn't want to go back to that prior leadership.
That's right. She was
Right.
leading the
So
charge
you
not
have to
to
remember that there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah. Well, AOC, she also did tell Pelosi and any other Democrat that if they don't really go the way I took it, that's the way it is. They don't go or do what they say. The new generation of the liberals that they were going to send their quote unquote their followers to go and disrupt them.
Well, she also said that, when she got criticized about the Green New Deal, she said, this is my plan. If you don't like it, come up with something else. Otherwise, I'm the boss.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually a quote she said
Yeah.
in a speakership engagement she was at. I think it was a luncheon.
Yeah.
Because she was getting criticized about the Green New Deal. This is outrageous. It's too expensive. But she pushed back. I mean, she says until the leadership of the Democratic Party comes up with something else, this is our agenda. I'm the boss.
Where is she
That's
getting this power? Who's giving her this power?
It's
I
think it's-
I think it's
Chuck
the
Schumer,
media.
Media help
Twitter,
Who's
and
telling the
social
media to
media.
do it?
Social
The
media,
me-
Twitter, and the young.
The media, the way I look at the media now is a form of you gotta too. For what I see, the media, those who are executives, those who are in power within the media, kind of have the same same mindset as them,
Well, yeah.
as same mindset. So they're using that media to, this is the one we really like because she's more like let's give her more attention. Let's help her out. Let's help her with her agenda. Because they're more like us.
they're more sympathetic to the progressive agenda.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Jeff Zucker who heads CNN, and you
Mhm.
have Jeff Bezos who essentially owns or has controlling interest of the Washington Post, two powerful media outlets.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to support
Yeah.
a progressive agenda, and because she's the face of that progressive agenda, she's getting a lot of quote unquote support. Requested support.
Yeah.
But it's there for
That's
her.
there
Now,
for her.
And Twitter and Facebook have that following. Like you
Yeah.
said.
As a Republican, to me, we need to utilize all this. This is ammo for us. You
Mhm.
just hang on to that. And, I was talking to someone who's a Democrat here locally. And it's the first time, I think I was telling you this, Gayla, I can't remember now. But it's the first time they actually referred to themselves. I was we were talking about different things that the Democratic Party had been doing. This abortion, baby's born alive, but it's still okay to let the baby die, and different things like that. And this person, actually said that they were, how we are, people call themselves a moderate Republican. They were trying to call themselves a moderate Democrat. When's anybody ever tried to tell you that? Democrats just think all of them are moderate.
Yeah.
No problem. But this person was really was trying to identify themselves that way, and I thought that was extremely telling. And I have respect for this particular person because I've known them for quite a while, and I just thought that was really fascinating and maybe something to pay attention to.
Mhm.
Because can you imagine, even Nancy Pelosi,
Mhm.
she didn't
She
come
did.
out and go after your not girlfriend, Ilhan Omar. She just kind of is trying to, play it cool and
Yeah.
everything. I think they're afraid.
There,
There-
there's
she is-
there's the aging Democratic wing, which
Yeah.
is Nancy Pelosi and
Mhm.
I'd like to say that again. Aging
aging
Democrat.
Democratic
Yeah.
wing, who are like the old school Democrats. And you have to also remember that they're getting up there in years, but they still
Yeah.
have power, and that's why they're trying to get Joe Biden to run against
Yeah.
Donald Trump in 2020. I mean,
Yeah.
he is probably the most, I would say, the most
Electable.
electable. Thank you, electable Democrat if he were to get to run
Yeah.
the
Why
presidency.
is Hillary not running?
Because
Oh,
Hillary's not going to run. She has a lot
Even
of
she
medical problems. So I think that's one thing to pay attention to. But this power struggle within the Democratic Party between the old school Democrats and
Was
this
it-
progressive wing, you're going to see that play
Oh,
out
that's
this year
I
and
can't
next year.
I can't wait to this election because you had 20 Democrats that are fighting for nomination. It's going to be fun watching that.
Well,
And
it's
we're
gonna
not
be-
gonna watch it
on
it's
Fox.
gonna be
Yeah.
interesting
We're not gonna watch it on
seeing-
Fox
it's
either.
gonna
No, because Fox ain't gonna allow it. Fox ain't allowed it.
It'll be interesting to see what the outcome is because that'll determine the future of the Democratic Party. Are
Correct.
they going to be extremely
You are right.
Yeah.
left wing?
Right?
Or are they
they
going to try to moderate themselves
What-
the way that they used to be? It used to be Bill Clinton's party. He couldn't be a Democrat today.
They're in the fight.
pick Biden.
Yeah, but you gotta understand
Well,
too.
they may
Going
pick
back
Biden.
to media,
Yeah, I think they will.
going back to
I-
media, I
that's
think,
what I
and then
said.
that the media strategies that works with them perfectly, because when you have something that says there's something that comes out and happens to them, let's say like Virginia, the governor, you had the governor who was the
Lieutenant
the
governor
a
lieutenant
doctor.
governor
and
and
the attorney general.
an attorney
was
general.
accused of sexual assault.
Sexuals, yeah. You have all that. You heard it for a while, and then it's like move on to
And
something else.
Exactly.
There's another thing.
It's a media
And
blackout.
it's made a blackout on that. Now they got another thing.
Gotta
Oh,
go to
that's
the
what-
hearings
gotta
now.
go
Let's
here.
go to the hearings.
Yeah,
It's
let's
not
go to
over.
here. Let's go to. So the media is helping them to push away
Exactly.
the everything that's happening and go to another store, go to another store. You never hear it. But if you hear a Republican get
It's on
caught,
for weeks or
it's
months.
on for weeks, just like Russia collusion. Just like the Russia collusion, you still hear it, even though there's no facts, no evidence, no nothing, and yet you still hear about it.
So thank goodness for shows like this, for YouTube, for social media, Facebook, Instagram, and everything, because there is a way to get the message out. Even just plain old email. Because at Facebook, George and I have experienced, they go after us. I'm sharing, all of a sudden I can't share anymore. It's like it's only letting me share to a group. And then I got thrown off Facebook. You've been thrown off Facebook. Did you have issues too?
I've been thrown off Facebook also.
Now you are on Facebook right
I'm
now.
not on Facebook right now.
That's, she can't get
So-
thrown off. But if they could,
They put their
they
paws-
would.
Yeah,
I think I did one posting in support of Jessica's law. I mean, not Jessica's law, Kate's law.
Kate's law.
Because I think it was 2 years ago when Mitch McConnell was Senate Majority Leader, and it wasn't getting. They couldn't even bring it for a vote. And I think I made one posting, but I didn't get any likes on that. So, but I was a student at the Bush School at Texas A&M, so
Why did George? Why did they throw you off?
No, that's when a few years back I was friending too many people.
Oh.
I was at.
But
Now
that's
I
the
got so
problem.
many friends. It's just
Yeah, you're almost at your 5,000, aren't you?
yeah. I'm close to 5,000 now.
But didn't they throw you out, like you were trying to share and they would limit your sharing or something? Didn't you tell me that? Or limit?
They do that all the time. When you least expect that you're sharing, and they'll block you from sharing
Oh yeah,
to groups
I know.
and stuff.
I know what you're
But
saying.
then you do it another day, and they allow you to do it. So it's like I don't know why they do it, but
maybe it's only some number. of
We're gonna-
shares you can do it.
I know our show's coming to an end. But I wanted to mention this. I do have one of these that we're going to raffle out in the next week or so, and we're just trying to figure out how we want to do it.
And that's this banner right here.
That's
right?
this big banner right here, and in fact, we gave one to the Republican Party that should be hanging in their wall over there. So, but this one we're gonna raffle it out to one of our loyal listeners, but we haven't decided how we're going to do it.
Oh, they're speaking to us.
They're telling us
We're
they like,
starting to
they
get
like
that,
the sun.
those vibes. The ghosts in here are starting to speak. But anyway, we'll let you know next week how we're going to do it. And it's going to be absolutely free.
I want to apologize because you know what? I meant to go and follow your comments. So Carolyn left. If you were following us tonight and I didn't say hi, I say hi. And Susan Tyndall, all our regulars.
Caesar
Guido
Cisneros.
Gomez, everybody.
A lot of people.
Sorry
that
about that. We got into the conversation
That was
too much,
good.
and we didn't do it. But I want to remind you too, if you watch us on YouTube, I mean, if
Yeah.
you missed it today, you can go to the YouTube. You can search Conservative Salsa, and you can subscribe to our channel. So that way, whenever we come on, like, you know, I carry my phone around, and on my email, it pops up and it says, hey, Chips and Salsa's on right now. So that reminds you. So you can do that. And, you know, we're just, you know, we're growing all the time. Are you going to come back next week?
I'm trying to be back here next week.
All right, great, good. How about you, Lydia?
I think I can make it next week.
Do that. Let's see, we're down to the last few minutes. I don't want to forget anything, George. What you got going on? Where are you going to be this weekend?
Other than
Fixing signs, yeah.
fixing signs, but we're gonna raffle this off, and I'll let everybody know how we're gonna do it. It's a fantastic banner flag, and it says "Re-elect Trump 2020." Okay,
Oh, boy.
that thing's not gonna stand up there. But
Sorry.
anyway, we'll let you know next week how we're gonna do it.
Our props.
Prop.
No problem.
I could probably just stand here and hold it. We're putting this together. Here, we'll just do that for a while.
There you go.
It's okay.
So
We're
anyway,
gonna
we'll
build
let you know how we're gonna do it. We just have to figure out how we're gonna do the raffle. I want to be fair with everybody because everybody's gonna want one. So, and we only have one that we're gonna raffle off. So, other than that,
I want to say, give a shout out. I'm checking our Facebook page. Jose Diaz. Hi, y'all from Jose Diaz, Dallas, Texas, in the house.
All
Well,
right.
thank you, Texas. We appreciate
Home
that.
state.
I love Dallas. I have a
That's her
couple
home-
of.
it's a nation. It's a
That's
nationwide.
That's her home state.
We have
That's
a,
right,
Texas.
Texas.
we have a nationwide listening audience. So they're all over. I have people in Virginia that listen to us. People in New York, and
And Teresa Navarro, listening from Chicago.
from Chicago.
Right.
Windy
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
How's TaylorMade doing? That's an organization.
Taylor Press is doing good. They're doing good. They just got back real quick. I'll just say they got back from California, where they took second place in a conference in their conference.
Second
Right.
place, that's
Second,
awesome.
they took second place. My son came home with a trophy. He got second place all conference.
Oh.
Woo! So
Yeah.
he didn't expect that. So it
His
was
son
good.
is with TaylorMade. It's an organization that helps youth from high school and junior high school level to in sports. They get them out of the community, get them in sports, and they mentor them to do better. And
Community,
his son's
yeah,
been doing it for a while.
yeah.
It's called TaylorMade.
TaylorMade Prep.
TaylorMade Prep, and the other ones that we're helping out is Jana Jackson for Kids Foundation and the Damien Goldstar Foundation. So you'll hear more about that in the future.
Plus,
These-
Damien Ghost, don't they have a big walk coming up? Is it this weekend, I think?
I-
Go to their Facebook site.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things, and I apologize. You know, typically we have a list of stuff, but George and I are all of us are working, so we do the best we can. But you can always go, if you follow us on Facebook, in addition to the Cocotazo alerts and things that we have, we try to keep those posted. George is real good.
And we got we got surprises coming down the line that we can't talk about, but we're working on more and more advanced things. So stay tuned because you're going to be hearing a lot of stuff from the Chips and Salsa show.
We appreciate you, Chipsters, most of all, for following us and listening and watching us. If you have any ideas for guests or when you're in town, like, you know, Jose, Teresa, maybe it's Teresa, when you're in town, drop us a line. Maybe you can come visit. You can always email me, Alice, ALICE, at chips.
Salsa.
Letter N Salsa Show. Every time we talk, oh, there's a ghost behind it. It's a Democrat conspiracy. Alice at chips, letter N, salsashow.com, or talk to us on our Facebook site. I want to shout out to Sonia, because Secret Sonia, she always helps us. She's always over behind us. She gets us set up to do the recording. She helps George, and she hasn't been able to be here at the show with us, but she's always there in spirit. We appreciate it. Also, hopefully our incredible intern Armin will be coming back soon.
Oh,
He's
great.
been really
Great.
busy, super
Yeah,
busy.
he's got his studies,
Yeah, the
Trying to
studies. Yeah.
send.
Yeah,
They come
and,
first.
and he's it's physics, right? Isn't
Yeah,
it?
physics.
Oh,
Physics,
physics.
so it's not like,
yeah.
you know.
It's like you can
So-
go.
That's a hard one. Yeah.
And like I told you last time, we're on the move. We're in different locations, and so we got some big things coming up. I just want to, you know.
All right, great. Any announcements? Anything else? I think we hit everything. George, are we missing anything at all? Did we forget
Nope.
anybody at all?
Nope.
We just really appreciate you guys following us, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the week. Have a great Lent if you happen to be a Catholic. You know, this is a really good time to kind of refresh and reorganize, and we really need to stay focused.
Don't you give
Farmers
something
Market.
up for that?
You can, and I've been going back and forth with that. I think it's going to be more of a self-improvement course for me. I need to drop some weight and do things.
I hear you.
I need to do a lot
You
of
need to drop
things.
weight.
I need to get some muscle.
Wait,
Is it
wait,
right?
wait, wait, wait.
You're in fantastic shape. Get out of here, man. I want to give special thanks to our helper. That's Gayla the Gringa back there. Thank you, Gayla.
You did a great job.
Great job keeping us looking good.
Good.
I don't know this. We're gonna work on this. Okay. I'm gonna work on it. Sorry
Sorry,
about
get
that.
approved.
So until next Thursday at 7 p.m. here on Facebook or YouTube, I want you all to guac on. I'm Alice Lara with
Don Jorge.
and
Lydia.
And Sid.
so guac on. Have a great rest of the week. Good night.
And I.
That's
Good show.
Thank you. The photo's great, except for
What happened? I guess it was
You know
the
what?
tape that came.
It's the
wouldn't
tape that
stick
keeps-
on it.
It keeps coming off.
yeah. What I you know what I did last time? I had this hooked on here better too. Oh well.